Hello, this is April Perry from LearnDoBecome.com, and this is audio number 2 of our 4 Weeks to Finished Organized Mindset series. All of the audios and the associated links can be found at LearnDoBecome.com/start today or LearnDoBecome.com/crush it. Our goal is to help you to be able to get your mind organized in 4 weeks. We have 3 ways you can do it. The information is there on the page, and we're just so excited that you're here with us. Today we're talking about how getting organized requires a change in our identity. You've probably noticed that throughout your life, whenever you've made a significant change in your habits or activities, or whenever you've experienced a significant amount of growth, you've also made some important adjustments to your identity. And getting organized isn't any different. It's not just about having a clean house or checking a bunch of things off your list. It's going much deeper and looking at what is actually happening at your core. Here are a few questions I would like for you to consider. You may want to write them down and journal your way through them, or you may want to listen to this audio a few times and see what comes up for you. The idea is that as you begin to see yourself in a different light, you'll prepare yourself for the beautiful, exciting changes that are about to come your way. Question number 1. If you were to draw a picture of your ideal life, that life you would feel thrilled to wake up to every day, what would your picture look like? Now, I actually draw an updated picture at the beginning of every year with symbols and words that inspire me, and I tape it to the back of my bedroom door, and I take a picture of it and I keep it in Evernote to review each day so I can step closer and closer to that version of myself each day. You may have created a vision board or something like that in the past, but as you're working on it or updating it, it's really important to make it clear, specific, and inspiring. Something you actually want, not something you think you should actually want. I personally am really prayerful about it. I don't rush myself to create it, and I edit it sometimes as needed. But this picture needs to be something that makes your heart leap, something that might feel a little too good to be true, but that you know deep down is what you're meant to become. I think of it as my true self arising. And in fact, that's what's on my picture right now. In the middle, I have a little drawing of a caterpillar and then a butterfly, and it says, "The true April is arising." And that might be a little cheesy, a little silly, but that's what works for me. Yours can obviously be the way you want it. Okay, so that was question number 1. If you were to draw a picture of your ideal life, the life you would feel thrilled to wake up to each day, what would your picture look like? Question number 2. What is the version of yourself that is comfortable, that you secretly don't want to let go of? Now, this question might take a little longer to answer because a lot of times we don't even really think about it. But usually there are some habits that aren't serving us that we really like. Now, we might like being the victim because it gives us the right to stay in our comfort zones. We might like being excessively busy because then we don't have to think too deeply. We might like being that angry person who resents all the wrongs in the world because it gives us a feeling of power or independence. I have personally enjoyed being a people pleaser, though I never would have said that out loud, because then, and I even hate saying this, I could blame other people when I found myself unhappy or spread too thin or feeling stressed out. So much growth is available to us when we can articulate that default setting that we're ready to change. So just to review question number 2, what is the version of yourself that is comfortable that you secretly don't want to let go of? Question number 3, how do you measure your value? Is it on how much you accomplish in a day? How many comments you get on social media? how dependent others are on you, how much money you make, how much you weigh, how beautiful or handsome you feel, how often people compliment you, how busy you are, how low you put yourself on the totem pole, how willing you are to deprioritize yourself, how big or clean or well decorated your home is. As humans, we often try to compare and measure as a way to know if we have been successful. But usually our methods of measurement leave us feeling anxious or depressed or temporarily superior or inferior. And I didn't realize it for years, but I did place my value on how much I accomplished and how clean my house was and how much I weighed. It was bad, I'll just say that. I stared at my checklists and I worked myself to exhaustion. I prioritized cleaning over rest or relationships. And I often went hungry and growled at my family to ease the pain of my growling stomach. Now, my new understanding is that each one of us is already valuable. Whether we are organized or physically fit or super accomplished or not. The activities and the work we are excited to do can be wonderful and they can make life feel more calm and meaningful. But if we're doing them because we think they create the foundation for our value, we're going to end up with a life that never feels like enough. Now, the exciting news is that when we truly see our innate value that we have, each one of us right now, and then we move forward doing the tasks and the projects that we need or feel inspired to do, we end up getting even better results, but we have joy along the way. So again, question number 3, how do you measure your value? Question number 4, if you had to map it out, what is the current neural pathway, like your brain process or sequence, that you follow when something comes into your mind or into your life that you need to do? Now, this is kind of a weird question, so I'm going to explain it a little bit more. Let's imagine that someone hands you a packet of papers that needs to be reviewed, assessed, and then used to create a multi-step project that must be done in the next few weeks. Is your default to set it down in the pile and move on to something else and tell yourself you'll get back to it later? What do you actually do in that situation? Or let's say you get a voicemail telling you that you need to make a phone call on Thursday, but first you need to check out a website and figure out some information and then discuss it with a specific person who's only available after 5 p.m. and then make a decision that, if made incorrectly, could cost you a lot of money or a lot of time. Do you write it down somewhere, or do you put it off because you're too stressed out? Or do you just drop everything and dive into it, even though you know you're dropping other responsibilities that are also important? Now, I know we're diving into some really specific scenarios here, but this is what I'm talking about when I share the concept of a command central and when I talk about organizing your mind. You need to know where things belong, like tasks and projects and papers and emails and messages and phone calls and all that stuff, because when you know where it belongs, then you know how to create a simple, flowing neural pathway that takes that complex issue and makes it feel so easy that there is zero stress associated with it. When your brain knows how to handle all those little complicated, multifaceted parts of life, your brain is going to calm down because it won't feel so stuck or so overwhelmed. That makes me so happy. That's what I want you to experience. So again, question 4, if you had to map it out, what is that current neural pathway or your current brain process or sequence that you follow when something comes into your mind or into your life that requires action? It's something you need to do. And then question number 5. When you're thinking about building a command central, are you subconsciously asking yourself the best question? And I know this is a really weird question, but I'm going to give some background. Okay, I've been listening to some amazing audios by Dr. Don Wood. And when talking about addiction, whether it's to a substance or an activity or a mindset, etc., he explained that sometimes we ask ourselves a child question instead of an adult question. And he tells this story. I'll just paraphrase it. So you imagine that a boy and his father are at the airport. And the man at the gate of a plane leaving to Detroit says, "Hi there, little boy. Do you want to go on an airplane ride?" Now, the little boy would probably say, "Yes, I would love to." But the father, who has no intention of going to Detroit, would say, "No." So it's the same airplane, but it's a different question. So when thinking about a command central, I'm going to kind of bring it back to what we're talking about. You might be subconsciously asking yourself, do I want to constrain my life and lose my flexibility and make myself do a bunch of tasks? Okay, so that's like the child question. And the answer to that would probably be no. Why would I want to constrain myself and make myself do things I don't want to do? But the other question, I would call this the adult question, is am I ready to calm my mind and create a system that will serve me for the rest of my life? Often when we find ourselves responding negatively to something that could be really good for us, or responding positively to something that could be really bad for us, it's because we are asking ourselves subconsciously the wrong question. So, going back to question number 5, when you're thinking about building a command central, hey, do you want to build a command central? Are you subconsciously asking yourself the best question? This is going to help you to be able to move forward. And I hope that these 5 questions have been a support for you today. I hope they're getting you thinking and getting your brain working in a way that's going to help you build that momentum. And then once you feel good about your answers, you're ready to move on to audio number 3. Again, we have all the audios and related links at learndobecome.com/start today or /crush it. I just laugh every time I say that. All right. And then the other thing I want to mention is as we're getting ready to jump into our 4 weeks to finished program, that's going to be linked on that page as well. 4 weeks to finish is where you can come in and have me and our team walk through exactly how to build your command central in 4 weeks, 1 month's time. We have daily coaching, email text support, accountability partners. We're simplifying things. We're giving you all the links. We're going to be there in real time supporting you. If you want to do that, we would love to serve you. Or if you go to our STEP program, our self-study or our mastery program, also linked on the page, we have 8 modules and we even have a 1-month calendar put together where you could go through the program and do it. Or if you are like, I'm not ready to buy something right now, but I like what you're doing, I want to do something, we have a kind of play along at home version that has links to free podcasts and videos and resources on our site that can help you start building that foundation. And then you could come into our formal programs later if you want, but we really want to serve you in the best way possible. And we want to help you get moving today. That's why it's learndobecome.com/start today. There are so many great things ahead for you. I'm so glad you're here. And I'm grateful for the chance to be your friend as we go through this process. Someone told me, I just needed a bossy big sister to tell me what to do. And I didn't know whether I should consider that to be a compliment or not. I'm actually the 7th of 8 children, and there's 6 girls in our family. So I'm the youngest of 6 girls. So I have never been a bossy big sister, but hopefully you can think of me at least as a sister or a friend who's already gone through a lot of the pain and overwhelm that you may be finding yourself in right now. And I'm here to help you to make it easier because it feels so good on the other side when everything's just kind of clean and organized naturally and you feel excited to wake up every day and content when you go to bed at night and your relationships are stronger and you feel healthier and you feel happier and you get the things done that need to get done and it's not hard. Like that's possible for you. Okay, sending lots of love. See you in audio number 3.